Hey guys, Sarah Ulmer here with Y'all Politics. Today we are sitting down with Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith to talk about her recent re-election to her seat and talk a little bit more about the current presidential election and just things that are happening in D.C. right now. Senator, thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thank you for the opportunity. I love to join Y'all Politics.
Absolutely. Tell me how you're feeling after a hard-run re-election that ended last week after the general election in Mississippi.
I'm feeling very relieved for myself, very concerned for the president, but we're just, glad it's over. The people have spoken. We've got a 6-year term in front of us, and thrilled about that and glad to be back at work.
Talk to me a little bit about what you're hearing in regards to the presidential election. I know some of the members of the Mississippi delegation have put out some statements in support of President Trump and his investigation into some of what he's calling voter fraud in some of these states. What are some things that are going on right now in D.C.?
Well, we and we're all on the same page. We just want transparency. We want legal votes to be counted and illegal votes to be cast out. And then let's come up with an accurate figure, an accurate number of where we stand in this election.
How long do they expect that kind of investigation to go?
There's no time frame that he gave us at lunch referring to Vice President Pence. But I think, logically speaking, hopefully we will have the evidence to present within the next couple of weeks.
Kind of going back to your race a little bit, what seemed to be some of the biggest obstacles that you saw in the campaigning for re-election over the last few months?
Well, obviously it was the money being spent against me and how many commercials and radio ads were running constantly night and day. And it was fun to get back with my colleagues because they were experiencing the same thing and, just hundreds of millions of dollars being spent. So we were all battling the same problem is, we were just overwhelmed with the publicity our opponents were getting and paid airtime. But, we just got our message out. We got on that bus. We went across the entire state. It wasn't my first time on a statewide ballot. It was my third time on a statewide ballot, and actually my fourth time actually on a statewide ballot. So people of Mississippi, they knew who I was. And so that was easier for me to overcome because I have been elected statewide previously, and I'd already had a reputation out there. People knew that I was going to be conservative. They knew I was going to work hard for them. And that eventually played out at the ballot box. So we were very fortunate on November the 3rd that we handedly beat the opponent.
So coming into this new term, what are some of the things that you hope to be able to influence for the state of Mississippi?
Well, right now it's continuing on COVID, the vaccine that we're hoping to have access to by the middle of January. And the rapid speed that it has gotten here is pretty incredible just in itself. 90% effectiveness. And I mean, the flu shot is, it's like 29% effective is what they're telling us. But it is going to be the thing we've been looking for to solve the COVID problem, I think, is just getting it out and making it available, hopefully, first of all, to nursing homes, to elderly residents, to people with underlying conditions. And that's the plan right now, is to make sure we get the vaccine out in a timely manner, in a safe manner, but accessible to all Mississippians.
The past few years, Republicans have kind of held control over the Senate. Going into this next season, obviously some of that is hopeful and not sure about right now. What does it mean for the Republicans to hold the Senate when there is if Biden is confirmed and there is a more Democratic presence there as well as in the House? What does it mean for the Senate to remain Republican during the next few years?
Well, the Democrats have already assured us that they would try to pack the courts to extend the 9-member Supreme Court to more than that, to make Puerto Rico a state so they could get 2 more Democratic senators, to make the District of Columbia a state, get 2 more Democratic senators, and we could stop that. And so that's where the confidence lies is, if we do not win the White House, if we are not successful there, at least the Senate would be the firewall to those things like the Green New Deal. That would be totally detrimental to this country. So it is really, really important that we maintain control in the Senate at this point because of the conservative values for so many things that are on the line.
Was that a huge impact for President Trump to be able to name Justice Amy Coney Barrett before the election to secure another conservative seat on the Supreme Court?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime that you have a White House and the Senate of the same party and you had that opportunity, it was our constitutional duty to seat Amy Coney Barrett. And just the comfort of knowing that we do have her already in place, already confirmed. And so, at the end of the year, we don't know what that brings, but we know that we have a very good confirmation in Amy Coney Barrett.
Assuming that this fight for the presidential election continues, is there an assumption that it will go to the Supreme Court for a final decision?
A lot of people pretty much assume that. I don't think anyone knows that yet because obviously they're getting ready to present the evidence they have of fraud in these states. And that is yet to be determined. And, we can't answer that, but it could easily end up there.
So today we heard that Mitch McConnell was reelected by Republicans as the Senate leader. Can you talk to me a little bit about that decision?
Well, we had the meeting this morning. We started at 9:30 Eastern time, and we went until almost noon with electing our caucus representatives and the leadership there. And it remained the same as it did before the election. And I think we put together a really good team. And, Mitch McConnell has really led us through the impeachment, and he led us through getting 2 Supreme Court justices seated. And there was no opposition whatsoever of him being the majority leader.
Senator Hyde-Smith, congratulations again on your reelection, and thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today. I hope these next few months in D.C. are a little smoother than the last, but I'm not going to hold my breath on it, as I'm sure you're not either.
Yeah, it's been an incredible ride so far. Hopefully, we can get past all of this election stuff. We can start doing what the people of Mississippi elected me to do. And that is to represent their conservative values, and I'm honored to do that.
Well, thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it. You can find out more from what Senator Hyde-Smith has done in her position there in the Senate over the last few years, as well as what she talked about today, what some of her goals will be on our website at y'allpolitics.com. Thanks for tuning in today, everybody.